daily vlog. Today it's going to be a little bit of a different vlog, maybe a little bit all over the place. I'm kind of struggling to think about this vlog and how I want to structure it, because I thought let's do a little bit of a day in the life kind of vlog, because I'm now going to the office. I'm currently editing an advertisement for a big company here in Germany, actually here in Hamburg. They're based here in Hamburg. And yeah, I thought I'd make a little bit of a day in the life, shoot a little bit of B-roll. And yeah, as I said, I don't know if this video will have a proper point, but yeah, I just wanted to share this and also maybe share a little bit of photography, because I actually, yeah, thought, why don't I use my old little party camera, the Canon G9, to utilize for street photography? I love my Fuji XM5, but I just saw this lying around, and obviously when you are into photography, there's sometimes you get gear acquisition syndrome. I was thinking about getting a smaller lens, or maybe also getting a new camera like the Ricoh GR series, but then I thought, dude, you have this old camera that has an amazing old school CCD sensor that you also utilized back in the days for parties with a second shutter flash. And yeah, it's so pocketable. And maybe I will just cut in a couple of street photography things, and also probably going to do a review about this on this channel as well. So don't forget to subscribe. But yeah, now long story short, let me get to the office and start the day. All right, just got to work, and I'm currently testing this bag from Smart. This is the Smart U5, really cool bag. But yeah, my day usually starts with setting up my workstation. Water bottle, I always keep hydrated, and because I always change on my day-to-day life workstations, for those of you who don't know, I'm a freelance film editor. I either work from home or get booked to an office where there is a workstation, and I prefer to have my own peripherals, meaning my own keyboard, my own mouse, just because I just know they work, and more importantly, B, they are clean. I have always my mechanical keyboard here, that is the knob free. Then inside one of my tech pouch, this is the Evergoods Cat 2, I have my mouse, charger, cable and stuff like that. So let me just set up everything and then, yeah, continue with the vlog. Sorry about the fan noise, but I'm in a big office, and obviously some of the people in the other rooms need some fresh air. They kind of send fresh air through the offices, so that's why that fan is on. So basically, yeah, I just got into the office, and on my way I took a couple of shots with the Canon G9. It's an amazing camera. It's an 18-year-old camera actually, and I will superimpose some of the shots here. It's actually a point and shoot. So what I used to do with this was my party camera. I set the camera to second shutter flash, and when I was in the club, I basically always kind of shot. Then there is the first flash, and then if you move it slightly, it takes a long exposure of the dark club scene and then does a second flash at the second shutter curtain, and that makes the last position sharp. So you basically have this really cool, very dynamic motion blur, but with a very sharp image, or not very sharp, with a sharp recognizable image in the end. And it's a really cool effect that for parties was really cool, but also for street photography. This is really amazing. I love this, and it actually helps me, yeah, not to think about a new camera, but more importantly, I can take this wherever I want. Yes, there's the argument, shooting with your phone is good enough, but with the phone, just like with my gaming device, the Anbernic RG3 4XX Plus, I want to get away from the phone because there are so many notifications, so many distractions. So having a dedicated device for things like gaming or photography in this case is great, because you concentrate on taking the shot, and more importantly, the image quality has its, I wouldn't say it's better, but it has its own characteristic. You have a dedicated shutter button, which feels much better. You have dials. You actually have a viewfinder, which isn't great, but still, it's It's a much more fun experience, although the image quality probably isn't as great as your phone, but the images, especially since it has a CCD sensor, have more character, and it's just more fun to shoot with a dedicated camera. And especially this being so small, I can just put it in my pants pockets and carry it wherever I want. All right, so I'm currently editing the pictures of the G9 that I just took and where I did some street photography, obviously. I'm editing those with a preset that I bought. This is basically an Aqua Color XP 160 Vibrant preset that I bought, and that already gives the whole pictures together with the cool CCD sensor a really cool old school nostalgic vibe. Then I add some more contrast, but also more importantly grain. I love grain. I'm not sure if YouTube will kind of put like denoising on there and you don't see the grain, but I see the grain. Maybe also check out my Instagram at the bow 365. I put grain that is similar to 1600 ISO on film in medium size, and I feel like that gives the whole picture such a cool old school nostalgic vibe that I'm liking a lot. Especially, as I said, I keep saying CCD. All of the new cameras have a CMOS sensor, which is a great sensor, but this old school CCD sensor, I don't know the technical details, but they give the pictures this nostalgic point and shoot vibe as if you have an analog camera, at least to me, especially with this preset. And I think the pictures that are coming out of this camera are great. The downside of this camera, besides it obviously being very old and not having a big megapixel size, it is very slow. So you really need to kind of slow down and not like click and move away. You kind of have to click, wait a little bit to make sure the picture has been taken, and then move. So if you don't take that into consideration, you will have some kind of like blurry pictures. So just something to keep in mind. But it's a lot of fun to shoot. Again, shooting with a phone is much better in terms of technical quality, but this is much more fun and just looks great. Gives you this really nostalgia feeling. I love this camera. These were a lot of the pictures I superimposed here. What do you think about this? And I think if you can get one of these Canon G9 cameras used, definitely get one. Love this. All right, that was my short little daily vlog. Not a lot, maybe a little bit of talking about this camera. If you enjoyed me talking about this camera and doing a little bit of street photography, let me know in the comment section below. Maybe I will do that a little bit more in the future. And maybe check out my video about the Pocket 3 where I have my settings. In the video up here. YouTube thinks that you like the video down here, and don't forget to subscribe and help me to get to 1000 subscribers by clicking the button up here. I see you tomorrow. Thank you very much.